Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. What a show inside the Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center that we just witnessed from both the women and then the men. Thanks for sticking with us here in Madison, Wisconsin, everybody on the Rogue Iron Game as our coverage of the 2019 Reebok CrossFit Games continues. I'm Sean Woodland with Annie Sakamoto and Dan Bailey. Annie Thorisdottir will be joining us here momentarily. But that, what we just saw, simple event, but a ton of excitement.
Right, and it's everything that we thought could happen at this stage in the competition as far as the way they've set up the scoring system. So 35 points used to be an insurmountable lead at this stage in the competition. In just 2 events, Mat Fraser swung that point lead, that 35-point lead that Noah Ohlsen had, to now a 25-point lead by him, which means 60 points just shifted in a matter of 2 events. He knew that he had to basically go full send on that event in order to get the white jersey back, and that's exactly what he did. But he didn't just need that, he needed a couple other athletes to come in before Ohlsen. Again, that's what ended up happening, and we go into the final event again with Mat Fraser on top.
What about you? What did you see overall from that event?
And I mean, because of everything that you basically just mentioned, it's still not over. We're still not safe. We have this other event where we could see another massive swing. So it looks like a pretty technical, pretty complicated event that's going to take a lot of skills, but just some classic CrossFit stuff. We're excited to watch. If you take a look there, Mat Fraser and Noah Ohlsen going head to head. It definitely looked like Matt was able to keep the pace just a little bit better, obviously, over the course of the event. So I don't know, I'm excited to watch the showdown again. Anything can happen.
Well, Mat Fraser, over the last 4 events now, indoors. This is like a very Rich Froning type Sunday.
Yes.
3 wins and a second. And we still have 1 event to go that Dave Castro just announced. Let's take a look now at the men's overall standings, and this leaderboard will make a lot more sense to people as it looks like things have been returned to normalcy, as Mat Fraser is now your overall leader by 5 points, over Noah Ohlsen. Bjorn Carl Gudmundsson, he sits in 3rd place, and he will try to hold off Scott Panchik over the final event for that 3rd and final spot on the podium. We have now doubled our Annies on the set as the former 2-time CrossFit Games champion Annie Thorisdottir has joined us on the set. Thank you so much. I know you would rather be out there competing, but I appreciate you trying on the analyst hat here. The team event that we're going to see next, it's a Team Grace, 30 muscle ups for time, and Team Isabel. What goes through your head when you hear that event announced?
CrossFit. Yeah, well, wow. I absolutely love all of those workouts. You have a barbell and you have a barbell and grip strength. It's cool. I think that's going to be an exciting event. I really missed that since we had that at the games. When was it where we had all those girls that the teams were supposed to do? I kind of missed that format, so I'm excited that they're doing that again.
Rich Froning and his team have been so dominant. I don't know if you have a chance to see them compete here, but as a former champion yourself, you know what it takes to win. What do you appreciate about what they're doing here in this competition?
Well, you just know that they have no holes. Like, at least they haven't been exposed to them so far. So it looks like it's just a really well-rounded team. You lose a lot, especially with this scoring system and the teams the way that they are now. You're going to lose so much if you have a hole. Yet you just see it on the leaderboard now. Like, their points, they're so far ahead of everyone because they haven't taken that misstep.
Bjorn Carl Gudmundsson right now sits in 3rd place. What would it mean for you to be able to see him get back on the podium?
He's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like, we've been training together leading up to the games now for the past 5 weeks. We were doing training camp together, and he is the fittest he's ever been. He's in such a good shape. He's so strong. He's so determined. Like, his head is in the right place. He's supposed to be there.
That's good.
When you look at the individual final, what's the strategy that goes through your head for that event?
Well, it's a 2009 chipper, right?
Something similar, I believe. Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's Grace, 30 muscle ups, Isabel.
Oh, okay. I heard it was a 2009 chipper. Oh, okay. Wow. Damn. I think. How long is the break between? Is it 3 separate workout?
I don't know.
I don't think if we know that right now. We're going to focus on the teams right now, actually. So
Oh, you're on the teams. I thought you were talking about individuals.
I think I was, but I want to focus on the teams right now.
Okay.
Do you have a pick besides Mayhem that you think could end up on the podium? Do you want me to give you who's left?
I think it's gonna be Cami and like their team is gonna be up there. You just know that Krypton, yeah.
Right.
I think they're a very pure CrossFit kind of team.
Yes.
So I think they're gonna do really good with those events.
You got a chance to put on your own competition this year at the Reykjavik CrossFit Championship. How did that experience go for you?
Ooh, that was different. I had no idea all the preparation and everything that you had to think about. I had no idea. I always think the volunteers and everything after I compete in these events, but I had no idea how important they are. And that was exciting.
It is amazing how much they do.
It was very cool, and it was also fun to get to have your hands in the programming, looking at the events, making sure it was well balanced, and it got interesting.
I'm sure it did. What you do now, moving forward, you're going to do that again now and for the 2020 season. What things would you like to improve on at your event?
I think you don't want to get too carried away over complicated programming. Simple is often just the best way to go, I feel. And I think we kind of learned that at the CrossFit.
It is a much different feeling when someone says, okay, program it, and you actually have to do it yourself. What are some of the challenges you had to overcome when you programmed your event?
Well, I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is a fun event. I want to do this, I want to do that. So I was kind of picking what I would like to do. And then we had to just move some of those events away because it didn't all fit together. Most of it was a lot of barbell movements, machines, box jumps. I'm very much for those like normal CrossFit workouts, and almost all of the workouts were like regionals CrossFit, the box workouts that you can do. So it was
a lot of things to factor in though, right?
Yes, exactly. And all of a sudden we had the same movement in like 3 different workouts. Like, no, Frederick's like, no. We cannot do that.
Let's go, we'll go back one more time to the final team event. We'll put it up on screen so everybody can read it and sort of wrap their heads around this. But it's Team Grace. It's called the standard. So you start out with 30 clean ankle jerks, then 30 muscle ups for time, and then Team Isabel. What do you think the toughest part of that event is going to be for the teams?
Well, it's going to be the muscle ups, making sure that you split them up the way you need to split them up. It's going to be grippy. All of this is grippy. It's all going to be fast. Like, the weight is not that heavy. You're going to be able to cycle that pretty quickly. Yeah, I think you can go unbroken on a lot of those things. And like, the teams are going to have to push that. They're
going to work in male-female pairs. So how does that change things, if at all?
I think the males are going to do most of the muscle ups. Female, like, the weights are very well separated. They're going to be very similar on the barbell, so it's going to be about even height, or the cycling, the one that can actually like pull the bar down a little bit. It's going to be.
Do you think communication plays a big part in this one with, say, something similar to like the worm or the snail, or is this more your individual talent is going to kind of carry you through the event?
I think you need to, as soon as you feel that you're going to start slowing down, you're going to have to be quick on that, making that transition go through. It kind of depends on how the transition is going to be. If they're going to be separate bars, and if you can just grab the bar right away, if you need to run and grab someone, I think that's going to play the biggest part in here. It's going to be keeping that barbell just moving constantly at a very high pace, and then if you need to make that transition, it has to be like so sharp, otherwise you're going to lose it.
Let's talk about the individual event now. We do have that. We'll take a look at that. And I'd love to get your thoughts on, if you were getting ready to do this, how would you approach it? So it's going to be Grace, it's going to be 30 muscle ups, and then it's Isabel, 95 pounds for the women. When you look at that, what stands out to you?
The 30 muscle ups, that's going to be the game changer in that workout. The 30 clean and jerks, you're going to have to be really smart there. I know a lot of the athletes are going to want to get a little bit carried away because it feels great in the beginning. I think they're going to be smart. The girls that are up there now, they know themselves pretty well. I would probably start with a few touch and go, and then try to go into just quick singles, because it's going to be about the grip on the muscle ups. And then on the snatches, like once you get through those muscle ups, the snatches, that's just going for
just
it.
Hang on for dear life.
Just hang on and hope that you're going to be able to continue moving. Being smart though, because it is 30, your grip is going to be fatigued, you're going to be tired once you get there. if you do too many unbroken, you're gonna start stepping away from the bar and shaking it off. Rather, if you feel like you're getting to that point, like that threshold where you start seeing a little blurry and you know you're not gonna be able to hold on, you need to just start doing those quick singles and try to get through there. And this is going to be so exciting.
Well, I tell you what, if you ever want to come back here on the desk, you certainly passed your first test. Outstanding job breaking down that event. Annie, thank you so much for stopping by. We certainly appreciate it. Annie Thorisdottir, two-time champ, thank you so much. Let's go to the team overall standings right now as we get set for their final event. And look, Mayhem Freedom, they're running away with this thing. That race is basically over. The battle is now for the final 2 spots on the podium. CrossFit Krypton, Invictus, OC3 Black, and the Central Beast. 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. So Invictus, they survived the cut line, and now here they are on the podium. What do you like about their chances now to end up in 3rd place overall?
Yeah, I feel like they've had a pretty quiet week. They've been quietly kind of hanging around, and now they're back up on that podium spot. I really like their chances in this workout, mainly because there's a little bit less, I feel like, that has to do with communication on this event, right? It's a little bit more of individual talent that's going to be displayed here. So we've got those 30 clean and jerks, muscle ups, and the snatches as well going through as a team. You can see Invictus here kind of finishing the pier paddle, so did what they needed to do in order to survive the cut line. Didn't have to be perfect, but got into that final event to give themselves a chance and really put, again, that individual talent of Rasmus, Lauren Fisher, athletes that we've seen in the games as individuals in past experiences, put that on display today and hopefully secure their podium spot, if not make a jump.
OC3 Black, you are now officially back on.
Officially, I'm hoping for
the
a t-shirt.
bandwagon.
I'm hoping there's a t-shirt on my doorstep.
We'll see if we can set that up for you. I mean, you were a little, you backed off a little bit. Now
Only
you're back
a
on. Why could they wind up on the podium?
I think this is a great workout for Team OC3 Black. So they did lose a little bit of ground on that swim paddle event. They were only 11 points back from 3rd place going in, and now they're 19 points back going into this final event from Invictus. But what that is, that's 2 spots, right? So if they can just make up 2 spots ahead of Team Invictus, they will be able to get themselves onto the podium. And here's what I like. There is some barbell where maybe Invictus will do a little bit better. But like Annie T was saying, a lot of this is going to come down to the 30 muscle ups. And I look at these 2 teams, OC3 Black and Invictus, and I think OC3 Black is going to do a lot better on the 30 muscle ups than Invictus.
You think it's coming down to the 30 muscle ups. Dan, where is the big crux of this event?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Annie and the other Annie. The 30 muscle ups is going to be the big crux of the event. How are you going to split those up? You have to know your teammates in terms of the communication, making quick transitions, getting one person off the rings, right onto the rings, stabilizing the rings when you come down, not letting them swing all over the place where you have to wait precious seconds to jump back on top. So anything from settling the bar, getting the other athlete's hands on it as quick as you can are all going to be things that are going to pick up extra time on another team if you're not paying attention to those details.
Really fast, let's leave Mayhem out of it. They're running away with this thing and they'd be the easy pick. Who do you like to maybe win this event?
Well, can I pick first?
Fire away there, Annie.
Well, then I'm going to go with Krypton.
Okay.
I think if we're talking about 30 muscle ups and you have an athlete like Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet, how can you not pick a team like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with Invictus, actually. I'm going to stay with them on this set right now. I still go back to that individual competence in terms of these movements, these workouts. I like their chances to do very well.
Okay, final team event coming up next. Mayhem Freedom basically running away with 1st place, but a great battle for the podium. You're going to want to stick around to see that. We will bring it to you courtesy of the CrossFit World Feed when we return here on the Rogue Iron Game at 3 o'clock.